Hi, this is DH Dunn, and it is currently Thanksgiving here in the United States, and I thought that was an appropriate time to use today's video to appreciate some of the things that come from this game that has brought me so much escape and so much happiness. So these are 8 things I'm thankful for in the long dark. First thing I'm thankful for is Ravine. Ravine is such an amazing map. I know it's technically just a transition zone between Mystery Lake and Coastal Highway, but I don't think I've ever had a run where I didn't go to Ravine. Ravine just, it takes care of you. It has everything you need and nothing you don't. It has amazing views like the Thistle, which is just one of the most impressive things. I remember seeing the Thistle for the first time in the game and really being blown away by it, and it just opened up my mind as to what kind of things were possible in this game. Truly, truly an amazing sight. It has 3 different caves, including one with a bed. It's got cattails, it's got rabbits, it's got deer, mushrooms, and rose hips, and carcasses that you can harvest, and it's just... Ravine to me feels... it's like the map that feels like a hug. It's such a run stabilizer for me. I've definitely had runs that were going sideways, and I was able to go into Ravine from Coastal or from Mystery Lake and kind of get things sorted out and come back out. So right now, it's a completely safe map. After Wildlife Refresh, who knows? But for now, it's safe, and I love Ravine, and this little guy agrees with me. I'm very thankful for Ravine. Something else I'm really thankful for in the long dark is how fishing works, that it's not a mini game. I've got nothing against mini games, and some of the games that are shown here, these are all games that I play, but it would break my world of the game if I suddenly had to, time my, cast with a meter or something like that. I really like how fishing works. You go into your fishing hut, you set up your fire, it's nice and cozy, you got your own little setup here, and then you chip out your ice hole with, your knife or your hammer, and then you just cast. How long do I want to fish? Here we go, and we'll start fishing, and sometimes you catch something and sometimes you don't. Tip-ups are fantastic. I love them. The lures and stuff that you can make are great, but even if you don't have any of that, you can just relax and fish, and it just feels right. This feels like how this should work in this game, and then you just slap your fish on the pan, you get that great sizzle. The sound design, which I'm going to talk about later, is on point with fishing as it is with everything in this game, and I just really, really like how fishing works in the long dark. Another thing I'd really like to highlight is the long dark's really astonishing flexibility. I've been gaming a long time. There are games that have this level of customization available to them, but they're not that common. You start off with having 5 different difficulty levels, which is great. Everything from Pilgrim all the way up to now Misery. But on top of that, you get the custom difficulty levels where you can set a baseline for Pilgrim, Voyager, Stalker, Interloper, etc. But you can also just tweak the most incredible level of detail. I really find this to be fantastic. There's so many ways that you can use this to tweak the game to be exactly the experience that you would like to be, or as close to exactly as you would like it to be. I mean, there would be no adventure if it was exactly what we wanted. I find the flexibility that you get with the long dark to be just really, really, really impressive. And that flexibility doesn't stop at the customization menu, because most of the features that they've been adding to the game recently, you have the option of engaging or not engaging with those. So don't like the feats? Don't use the feats, or pick the feats that you want. Don't want scurvy in your game? Turn it off. Don't want to cheat death? Just don't. Do want to cheat death? You get the options of far away, nearby, safe, not safe. What kind of penalties do you want to have? It's really impressive, and they're already talking about some of the new systems that are coming in the upcoming update are also things that you can choose to engage with or not, choose to have in your run or not. In general, I feel like the team at the Long Dark really wants to serve their entire player base as best they can and give them as many options as they can. So I really appreciate the flexibility that you get in this game. Next up on the list is Trappers. There are many great places in the game to base, but Trappers is the one that I feel most iconic about. It is one of my favorite places to base, although I probably base more in Camp HQ than I do here. But Trappers, there's something about it. It's so cozy and functional at the same time. And it has pretty much everything you need. It usually has a decent amount of loot for when you're starting out, but it's got the very important workbench. It's got the 2-burner stove. It has one of the game's best beds. Outside you have bunnies, you have deer, the moose is sometimes nearby, you have a bear that wanders in and it's pretty easy to kill from this location. You have the cave that goes to Mountain Town where you can get coal and you can get cattails on the other side. And it's a pretty easy run to get the guaranteed matches that are right down the rope. There's just so much to Trappers, and it just feels like a base. It feels like it was built for exactly what you end up using it for, rather than some of the other locations that you kind of repurpose. So very thankful for Trappers. And that brings us to pancakes. Now, cooking in the Long Dark has added a lot. You certainly could make the argument that it has made Interloper a little easier. I wouldn't necessarily debate that, but I also feel it's made the game a lot deeper. There's a lot more feeling to it now for me with cooking. I was very, very excited about the cooking update. In fact, cooking and then the safe house customization, I think, are the two things that have most excited me, because it just makes me feel so present in the game. And nothing gets me happier than making pancakes. When the update came out, that was the very first thing I worked on, was making pancakes. I love pancakes. I make no apologies for that. I feel like the idea of being in this cold, desolate environment, but you still find a way to make something warm and, you know, this kind of wholesome stuff. And a lot of these things on this thankful list are coming out very wholesome. Just being able to produce this bit of like the old world, the world that they've lost, to me is just very, very cool. My favorite restaurant to eat at is IHOP, and I make no apologies for that. I love what cooking has brought to this game. I love what the cooking update brought to the game. Even though it changed the difficulty a bit, I feel like the trade-off was totally worth it for me, and I really, really love the pancakes. I think the pancakes are just really fun. Number 3 on my list was going to be art design, and while I absolutely love the art design of the game because I feel like it makes the game timeless, had they gone to something photorealistic, I think it would have aged. But the fact that they went with this almost watercolor aesthetic is just brilliant. But what I really want to highlight is the weather systems. The weather in this game is so brilliantly designed, so incredibly impactful. I can't think of another game that had this many different types of weather that had this much impact and relevance to your gameplay. It is more like the real world than anything else I've played in terms of weather. A clear day, a windy day, a snowy day, a blizzard day. It totally changes your plans, and you have to make your decisions based on the weather. The weather systems in the Long Dark are just, they're S tier. They are just beyond anything else I've seen in any other game, and I am so thankful for them because they make the game so real to me. Another thing I really want to highlight is the Long Dark's amazing sound design. The music is fantastic. The voice acting is terrific, but it's the little touches on the sound design that really impress me. The fact that you can hear the waves, and you can hear the deer walking, and you can hear the crows calling, and there's so many different things. The cracking of the ice. There's all these hints that the game gives you about the environment and about what's going on around you that, just like the weather, become a very important thing that you both have to pay attention to, but that you just get kind of immersed by. The crunching of the snow, the fact that you can use crows to find things, the way the rope climb feels so tactile and real. The fact that if you throw a rock at a car and you throw a rock at a tree, those impacts make different sounds. Like, that's amazing. All the different footstep sounds that they added, the fact that the footstep sounds change based on what you're wearing. And of course, that fantastic sizzle that you get with the crackle of the fire and the sizzle of the meat. It helps it be less of a game and more of a world that you're in. It's totally fantastic. The thing I think I appreciate the most about the Long Dark is the community that has formed around the game itself. I have really never experienced another community like the Long Dark Online community. That's on Twitch, that's on YouTube, that's on Reddit. Just a wonderfully accepting, tolerant group of people. They're encouraging. They love to give advice, but they also love to watch you explore the game. I remember when I started on Twitch, one of the things I asked people to do was to not tell me stuff. Let me find things out for myself. And everybody enjoyed that. They always respected it. Everybody was excited for me the first time I would see something for, kill a moose for the first time or make a bow for the first time. It was fantastic. The community is just such a wonderful piece of this game. I am just amazed at the very, very low levels of toxicity in this community and how all difficulties are valid. Pilgrim players hang out with Interloper players, hang out with Misery players, and everybody gets excited about what everybody's doing. And I see that all the time on Zach's Discord, on Reddit, on my own Twitch streams, and on my YouTube comments. You guys are the ones, all of you, are the ones who make it that way. And it is by far my favorite thing about this game. It is such a positive thing in my life. Thank you all for being that way. I am very, very thankful for you. And that is my list of the 8 things I'm most thankful for in the Long Dark. Whether you're celebrating Thanksgiving or not, I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great time with your family or your friends or your loved ones, and know how much I appreciate all of you. And I'm extra thankful, both Annie and I, for all the love that has been shown to the YouTube channel this year. It has really been just a wonderful, exciting experience for us. We're very, very thrilled and can't wait to see where we can take it as we go forward. So thank you very much. If you've enjoyed this YouTube video, and you could give the like, comment, subscribe, those do all really help me. I'll be back tomorrow with more adventures in the Long Dark. Until then, please stay safe, take care of each other, know that I'm thankful for you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.